Resolve. Homework should be abolished. I have always felt that there should be a balance between homework and family time. A quote said by an Elizabeth, Colorado teacher, Annie Lopez. Homework has been a part of life since the start of formal schooling, and in the early 1900s, the mind was looked at as a muscle that needed work to strengthen it. But in the 1950s, anti-establishment attitudes triggered questioning if homework caused too much stress among the humanoid body or mind. 5 decades later, Stanford senior lecturer Denise Pope began research. More homework isn't always good. Her research has found that students who do more homework experience more behavioral engagement, but also experience more academic stress, physical problems, and lack of access in their life. There is no positive effect on students, and perhaps a negative one. More homework means more health problems, lack of balance, alienation from society, and stress, which leads me to my next argument. Homework brutally causes stress. For instance, many students said that their homework burden led to self-deprivation. What's more, students felt forced or obligated to choose homework over developing more talents and skills. Pope's study found that when it comes to stress, 56% of students said homework was too much, 43% said that tests were the cause of their stress, and less than 1% said it was just right. An additional 33% said they put pressure on getting good grades. While gathering research, Pope asked if any of them experienced headaches, exhaustion, sleep deprivation, weight loss, or even stomach problems. More than 75% said that they did.
All right, take a 1-minute break to form your rebuttal.
Pick it up. Probably does. What if I yelled at you? What if you yelled at it? Oh.
Straight out of the way.
What if I yelled at Hebrew? I honestly can make Hebrew.
Elvira. Who's Elvira? Elvira, it's the city between the My dad was from
I looked at that shirt. Jeff, I looked at that.
Chris. You're threatening my car. You live on the
I know, I'm saying I'm sure I listed it.
Do you remember that my shirt and jacket cost me?
And stop.
Calm down.
No.
Whenever you are ready, Grace.
My opponent says that homework helps improve our grades. That is true. But does it really help the students? When kids get packed with homework each night, there is no time for activities or relaxing, and no time for hanging out with friends or family. It is very hypocritical to constantly say we want to keep our kids close, and then send them home with so much homework that family time becomes non-existent. Marcia Cardin. We need to abolish homework. Not only does it take away family time, but it also increases our stress, depression, and self-deprivation.
As my opponent may have mentioned, extracurricular activities may be crossed out of the subject. But if you get all your homework done, then extracurricular is easy to get to. At most, you should be spending an hour on homework a night, which is viewed by a bunch of scientists on this one document I found. And after you're done with it, you can do almost anything. Sports, video games, etc. If you don't do your homework, you will get lower scores. All the time, homework increases everything in your academic career. And here's the quote I have. There is no way students can learn everything taught in a class without reinforcing the subject with homework. And Lou Devine said, and my reinforce to that is in order to have school work properly, we need homework.
I don't agree with what Logan said about how we need homework to get a job. There are many ways to get a job without tons of homework. The work we have already is here. Schoolwork. Also, it was found that creative thinking has dropped since the 1990s because of the stress of homework. I think homework should be abolished because kids don't need the stress involved. Research has been found that children only get 48 minutes of active play, and 8% of teens get 9 or more hours of sleep. Do we want a generation of kids who hate education and are stressed out from homework?
As my opponent said, homework causes stress. Well, with doing homework, you can get a good education, get a good job. And as in the movie The Incredibles said, if everybody is super, then nobody is super. That means if you didn't do your homework and get stressed and get a good education, it would be easy for other people to get the same jobs you have. But you went through the education that you got in order to get that job. Homework cannot be abolished. The reason why is because the homework is based on what you learned in class, and it can help you with your future, and teach your students to help themselves and create good habits for you.
Audience, please pay attention and be quiet.
Homework and a professional in-class education system are two very educational things. I'm definitely not saying that kids shouldn't study, but what if your class was a very advanced and enjoyable thing? They noted that homework led to better grades. Well, a very professional system of education is the very thing we sought to achieve in the beginning of time. Well, what if we could do that better? That's what I'm trying to point out. Okay. We need to get rid of this homework. It can lead to major stress, which can make you act aggressively towards loved ones. Kids, as they get older, develop new effective studying ways without homework. If you're in school for 35 hours a week, plus an hour of homework at night, so 40 hours right there, and then maybe you have 2 hours of basketball to add on to that, so 50 hours around school activities. That's 10 hours a day in school activities, like for your school week. Well, one question would be, where does the kids' sleep time go in there? My quote is, "The beautiful thing about learning is that no one can take it away from you." I think that's true, and I think that's also true if you took away homework and you use system.
As my opponents mentioned, stress is a major outcome of homework, but a study has recently shown that students that feel most pressed academically or worrisome or stressed have a C average, they have no plans to go to college, and they complete their homework after the due date, or they don't complete it at all, rather than A students who know what they're reaching for and know what they want to become. You also, not only does homework, you do have homework, but you also are giving time in class to complete your homework. So you might not always have an hour every day, and you don't always have a ton of homework to do. Homework is a good thing. Work hard in silence. Let success make the noise. This quote says, with homework, it will pay off. You might just get something rewarding from the time you put into your homework. You might be on the road to success. Homework can give people a better education and is needed to achieve many things in their future lives.
As my opponent stated, that homework is good for our future jobs. Maybe that's true, but I disagree because it can do more harm than good. Parents don't say that they're not proud of what their child can and will accomplish. But in the past decade, fears that American students are falling behind in global competitiveness has been the value of homework. Now, students are more likely to forego activities, reducing family or friends, and eventually stop all activities together. My closing is homework causes issues. As a final thought, more than 52% of people do not like homework and find it pointless. If the kids haven't learned anything by the time they leave the classroom, the homework is pointless. A quote said by Heather Bruce from Livonia, Michigan. I believe she speaks for all of us. Parents, students, even teachers. When students hand in their homework, there is a tremendous difference between the grades. Not one student is more dull-witted than another. I think that if we eliminate homework and worry about work in class, students would understand the material and could ask questions instead of just discussing when they are home. Thank you.